Hello, everybody. I'm so happy to have you here with me again today. I just had to get that one straight for its little beauty shot. This is a beautiful spread, a beautiful lineup today, and I'm so excited to be back again with another pick a card reading. I think this is day 3 or reading 3 in almost as many days. I'm on a roll. And I'm really enjoying bringing this content to you. It feels very refreshed, very easy, and I'm really enjoying the channeling and again, the flow that everything is coming through. So if you have been enjoying it as well, if it's been resonating for you, I definitely invite you to consider subscribing. Not only does that make you aware every time and alerted every time your favorite readers post new content, there's new uploads, but it just is an easy way to navigate back. And it also is an incredible way to show your support for those channels, especially smaller ones like mine. Growth is super, super important when you are smaller in numbers and you're wanting to reach the wider collective. So all of the engagement, every single comment, every single like, share, and of course, subscribing, every new subscriber count all helps to sort of create that collective goal of reaching a wider audience, the wider spiritual community. So it means a lot if you choose to do that. And just the fact that you're here today, again, sharing space to connect at my channel, Aeipathy, means the world. So today's reading, I was very inspired by the concept of, honestly, the phrase that came through to me was, should you stay or should you go? This reading is going to explore specifically whether or not it is in your best interest to continue to place focus and attention and energy into a particular connection at this time. Or is it worthwhile to go or to stay involved? Kind of depends on your situation, depends on where you're at. But if you have been questioning this exact sort of an aspect of your connection, connections that are in distress or struggling or at a crossroads, this is definitely the reading for you. And if you have been wondering if you should stay or go, then this is definitely, I think, a reading that is going to speak to you and speak to sort of what's been weighing on you and help you arrive at the clarity needed to make a decision. So we have chosen 3 crystals today, as well as 3 cards that are flipped over on purpose. Those are guidance cards. They're going to kind of speak to the situation at hand for each pile, but you will select according to whichever crystal that you were drawn to most. If you choose pile 1, that is going to be the flower agate heart. Been featured here a couple times lately. Pile 2, first time on the channel, is the fire quartz. And pile 3 is the flower agate moon. So you have 2 flower agate choices, a heart or moon, or, and I'll show you this because this is new and hasn't been here before. This is a fire quartz. Beautiful. Go ahead and take a moment to reflect over whichever pile is drawing you in most, or whichever crystal called to you most, and I will meet you over there at your pile momentarily. We're going to get into all of the details surrounding whether this connection is worthwhile, if you should stay, or if you should go. Hey, pile 1, the flower agate heart. Happy to have you here today. We're going to be discussing whether the connection that you're currently involved in is worth staying in and being involved in energetically, perhaps physically, if it's something that is in your best and highest interest to be focused on at this time, or if perhaps you should be navigating focus away, if you should stay or if you should go. You were drawn to pile 1, which is the flower agate, and this is your cover card. False assumptions. Super interesting. It says, this is simply a misunderstanding. Let go of the need to be right. I can read this in so many different ways. For some of you, the false assumptions card is going to speak to, of course, being under a false impression, perhaps, of this relationship or of your person, either in the positive or negative. And for others of you, this could be not seeing things clearly in general with regard to your own life, with regard to your piece or part in this connection, in this relationship. And I think this is going to be unearthed and uncovered in greater depth, obviously, with the reading itself. But if you feel like there is at all any perspective or concept to this connection that could be skewed or perhaps is an illusion to some degree, again, that could be in the positive or negative. Maybe you are seeing things through a negative lens and it's not really that bad, or you're seeing things very rose-colored, and in fact, this is not healthy connection. Again, that's going to be different and distinct for everybody, but if that kind of speaks to your connection at this time, then this is the right pile for you. We'll start with tarot, but I'm also going to pull a few oracle cards. We're beginning with the Tarot de Carlotydes. Love this deck. Beautiful floral deck. And I'm trying to make a conscious effort to reach over a little bit to have you see me shuffle. Can't wait to have the new equipment, new camera, new setup, so that hopefully these readings will be a little bit easier to view. But in the meantime, I'm doing my best, and I definitely want you guys to be able to see as much as possible what I'm doing. So, pile 1. I want to get a little bit of context as to what is currently going on in your connection first. And that's going to help me to know and provide, or I should say, interpret the guidance from source as to whether it's best if you stay or go. So what is going on in the connection with pile 1 in their person, please? We have the Knave, which I believe is the Page of Wands. The Knight of Swords. Queen of Cups. So many court cards here. And the King of Pentacles. Interesting. And let's clarify those. We have the Six of Swords. Justice. The Nine of Swords. And the Hermit. Okay. Underlying energy that kind of supports the reading, at least this initial spread, is going to be the King of Cups. So you've got 2 kings out. You also have the counterpart to the Queen of Cups presenting. You have lots of other court energies. So we have Page and Knight. We have the Hermit and Justice, which are 2 really strong major arcana cards. I just want to go ahead and make these straight a little bit, and we're going to pull some oracle as well for what is going on currently in your connection. Pile 1. Let's use the Healers of the Earth Oracle. Sacred Smoke, so cleaning the air, purging negativity, and prayer. Again, you know, I think that there is a slightly more skewed view of negativity than perhaps is real in this connection. That could be some of what the false assumption is. We have the intangible, which is indeterminate, formless, and unknowable. And it's so funny that that comes out because this isn't telling me a whole lot, quite honestly. But that's okay, because we're going to get some more cards and we're going to figure out what exactly is happening. I think we have enough room. We do. This is from a newer deck, Familiar Field Oracle. That is the creator of the Familiar Field Tarot. It's a beautiful animal-themed deck. So on that note as well, I haven't said this in quite a while, but let's begin while I'm still kind of laying cards to, first of all, set your intention for this reading, that you're open, ready, and willing to receive all of the insights that are going to come through for you and pertain to your situation. And then also with that, select a sign if you feel called to do so. And the animals is a perfect example or a perfect opportunity to do that with this deck. We have the Rooster, which is resurrection, optimism, and spotlight. I love that that's coming out next to cleansing and purifying of negativity. I think things are in a bit of a stagnancy. We have passion, pride, and desirability with the peacock energy. 2 birds. You also have birds here featured prominently. So birds may be a symbol for you. It's also the concept of just flight and freedom. And then, you know, can't even make that up. Illusion, lightness, and shifting with the dragonfly energy. Huh, interesting. It's definitely illusions happening here. You're not seeing things entirely for what they are, pile 1. And I think that's to your disadvantage because I don't think they're as bad as they seem. It does appear that your person is focused elsewhere, that they have a lot of other responsibilities or things that they're needing to devote time and attention to in their life at this time. I see that with the King, of Pentacles, clarified by the Hermit. It's a very self-focused energy right now. This person, again, could have a lot of responsibilities, a lot of tasks, or different obligations and things that they're taking care of and attending to right now. And with the 9 presenting, which is the number of the Hermit, again, this is the energy of solitude or introspection, of focus on self. So it just feels like this person is very much kind of turned away from the connection. It's caused you a lot of anxiety, in fact, because I think previously you were feeling very doted on and very loved and supported, and like this person was a very worthwhile connection, like things were going in a great direction. And then suddenly there's been this shift. It's almost like they've had to enact this King of Pentacles energy, despite, again, this underlier of the King of Cups, which is, the loving king. It's the counterpart to you. And this person feels very deeply and has a lot of emotion invested in this connection, but they're not allowing that to rule right now. It's very much a pragmatic sort of a take charge and focus on the material aspects, sort of an energy at this time. This person wants to come towards you, though. Even though they've stepped away, we have 2 energies that are very swift and fast moving, also in stark contrast to the King of Pentacles. And that makes perfect sense also when we see all of this bird-like energy, and we even see the 6 of Swords, which shows all of these birds in flight. This person wants to communicate with you. In fact, when I first pulled this card, I actually interpreted that as the 8 of Wands before I saw it was a 6 of Swords. It gave me that same kind of concept of something in motion or in flight, and that there's going to be movement in this connection soon. And of course, that's reinforced as well further with the Knight of Swords. So this person wants to sort of, it feels like it's going to be impulsive, or that there is a level of impulsivity to this connection, and that they're going to come back in when they do, very swiftly, very unexpectedly, perhaps. I'm seeing that again with that combination of the Wands and Swords energy. There's going to be a quickness to it and an unpredictability. And with that is going to bring in, though, a lot of balance, a lot of truth being revealed, a lot of clarity and insight, because again, I think that there are some false assumptions, some illusions, some aspect of this connection that just aren't clear to you. This person has a lot of desire for you, a lot of, again, as I said, deep emotion. We have the Peacock here coming in with the King of Cups. Those are kind of a similar energy to me. But in all honesty, we have 2 birds here, which both can symbolize kind of ego and pride and masculine energy, with the rooster and the peacock. And I think that that's part of also what this King of Pentacles energy is playing into. This person has been stuck in a bit of ego. They have been, again, very focused on the material realm, on other things. And as a result, it's just left you kind of unclear and unsure of what exactly is happening or going to be happening in the future of this connection. I think you don't doubt, Pile 1, that there is a lot of desire, that there is a lot of passion and drive that they feel towards you, a magnetism, if you will, an attraction. But I think with this intangible card, it's just, it's almost like it's not reachable, or you can't, it's not tangible, which means that you can't touch it, you can't feel it, it's not palatable, it's not there in your 3D awareness. This is all sort of energetic at this time, with the exception of this part of the spread. All of this movement energy, I think, is what's coming. And we have the rooster here, which says resurrection, optimism, and spotlight. That makes me think of something coming back into form, coming back into play. Resurrecting means to kind of have a resurgence, to come back into play, to have a reconciliation, perhaps a return. That would very much also speak to this Knight of Swords energy that we had come out. This person's just taking time, I think, to take care of some other things. It says cleaning the air, cleansing the air, which is it? Clearing the air, purging negativity, and prayer. But I think that's what you're doing too, Pile 1. I think that you're kind of focusing on self. This feels like a state of disconnect. Let me just put that out there and say, this feels like a connection that is not currently active in the 3D. So there's probably a separation underway. So there isn't a whole lot of ability to have clarity in communication or in directedness. There could be false assumptions regarded as a result of that, because of the fact that there isn't a lot of, again, that directness, that ability to kind of just have that open accessible communication and ability to relate to one another and just ask what's going on or where do things stand. It's sort of just been left in this limbo state with the intangible energy. So certainly a lot of, again, reflection, I think focus on self for each of you with that hermit energy presenting, especially your person, however. And then a lot of just cleansing and purging and releasing while you guys are in this, again, state of separation. Let's go ahead and pull some more tarot. So now that we know what's happening in the connection, let's go ahead and see if this is a connection that's worth waiting around for, it's worth staying in, or should you let it go, pile one? There's a lot of noises today, so I keep pausing just to ensure that there's no interruptions to the video. But at any rate, pile one. Should you stay or should you go? We have the Nine of Pentacles. So already we're getting more self-focused energies with the nines presenting for you. We have the Eight of Swords. Okay. We have the Ace of Wands. Interesting message. And the Two of Wands. It's so funny when Source does this. It's, you know, already the message is very clear about it's up to you, right? This is one of those where you really have a choice to make. We have the Ace of Swords, the Knight of Wands. Funny how the two knights came up in the same row. Different spreads, but same row. So Knight of Wands. We have the Star. Okay, beautiful. And we have the Page of Pentacles, but I'm feeling the need to pull a second one for whatever reason. And the Page of Swords. Okay. And I think just a few more oracle cards. We have some flyers, but that was a lot, so we'll just take one at a time. Sound healing. We have healing tones, self-expression, and music. I have to just stop and say, you know, there is so much self-focused energy here for each of you, pile one, but in that it just feels really beautiful, like everything is in this process of unfolding, and that there will be kind of a resurgence, a coming back together, just like it says, resurrection energy presenting. The Ace of Wands here is so amazing how it's depicted with this hand that's holding all of these blooms of flowers, which of course are indicative of abundance and growth. And for me, the promise of fertility and harvest, or abundance and prosperity of a new beginning. So it feels like while there is a need to focus on self for now, I'm getting that also with this self-expression, you know, to just attending to your own needs and what is kind of most necessary for you at this time for self-development purposes. And again, same for your person. It does look like after a period of focus on self or continued focus, that there will be, you know, a renewal. Going off grid, unplugging, and disappearing for a while. So yeah, again, there's just a lot of energies here about taking some time away. But the energy is also very clear in the message of the Eight of Swords with the Knight of Wands, which is to say you do not need to move on. There is still hopefulness. I love seeing the Star for the Ace of Wands. Just such a beautiful, inspiring, and hopeful energy and message that, again, that new beginning is possible. Of course, it's up to you. It's your choice whether you want to devote and give energy with this Page of Pentacles or Page of Swords, which is to remain distant and kind of observe and see from a distance. And I think your person's kind of sort of interplaying with some of those energies as well. You know, do they want to come forward now? Do they want to continue to kind of hang in the background and tend to their own needs and just observe and survey and see? But what it's feeling like is your person is having a strong desire to come back, and that movement is going to be happening sooner rather than later. And in fact, I think that this Nine of Pentacles energy, you know, again, this energy of focusing on oneself and just doing what needs to be done for you is actually going to be what prompts, you know, this new beginning. It's kind of saying you don't have to take any action, right? You don't have to move on. You don't have to move towards them. You don't have to move forward. You don't have to do anything. You just have to kind of release it, let it go, focus on you. You know, the truth of the matter, yes, is very much that you're in need of some time and space away as well, pile one. You're still under development, as is again your person. But after that period of time where this like incubating, this time of renewal is taking place, this is very much reminiscent of a reading from yesterday as well. There is going to be this rebirth, this renewal, this opportunity in the star energy for a positive outcome. You know, it feels very much like that is kind of the direction that things are going, regardless, where you have to take no action or do anything. And that's going to just come and flow right to you. So I would say, based upon this, there is no need to move on from this person at this time, but there is a need to focus on yourself. So it's sort of a two-part message. Let's go ahead and just get some closing guidance for you, pile one, from this same deck, which is the Guiding Light Oracle. On this connection with your person, pile one's person, what closing guidance do we need for pile one, please, regarding their situation with their person? Divine timing. What you are working on now is divinely guided. That makes perfect sense because it does, again, feel like a very divine orchestration of all of these components coming together. And once they do, it's going to be just a really amazing, beautiful picture. But right now is not the time for connection. That's very clear as well. Stretch yourself. It is time to move past your comfort zone and into the unknown. And I think that that's what you're doing with this self-development phase, pile one. This Nine of Pentacles energy is, especially with that Ace of Swords there, getting clear and true about what you desire and what goals you still want to reach, how you can improve yourself first before you get involved with anybody. We also have inner guidance. It is time for you to pay attention and listen to the guidance of your soul. You know, I think if you take time for, again, this sound healing could be an indicator for you, this going off grid. Those are kind of lovely bits of advice about how you can probably ground and center yourself and get into a very receptive state to be able to receive that inner guidance about what you can do in the meantime during this sort of lull in this connection. But ultimately, yes, heeding your own intuitive sense of what it tells you about this connection is always going to be paramount. But I think that the insights that have come through today have been really great. Last one, divine plan. Could you get any more clear with all this divinity? Your soul has a master blueprint of your life path that it holds within it. It will never steer you in the wrong direction. Okay, so we're going to leave it there, pile one. I think this is a great, great message that things are going to be looking up for you and your person. There is a divine plan at work here, so this is likely a counterpart situation, soulmates or twin flames. And it's just going to take a little bit more time. We have divine timing, we have divine plan, we have inner guidance, so heeding the sense of source and how they connect with you and give you bits of wisdom and insight into this situation. And in the meantime, again, just focusing on that personal growth that's going to help bring everything back together, pile one. I hope this has been super helpful for you and brought you some needed clarity regarding your connection, especially if you've been wondering if you should stay or go. If you have enjoyed the reading, please consider subscribing if you haven't done so. I do hope to see you in a future reading, and until next time, pile one, take great care. Bye-bye. Pile two. So happy to have you here today. You chose this beautiful fire quartz. Love that so, so much. There's so much going on inside of this crystal that the camera's not even picking up on. There we go. You can sort of see it. Brand new to the channel, and it's beautiful. So you have chosen pile two, the fire quartz, and we have your card here as well that we'll be reviewing in a moment. The question we are asking today is about your connection. It is probably likely in a state of duress or struggle, and you're wondering if you should stay or if you should go. Is this connection worthwhile to stay invested in, focused on energetically or perhaps physically, or is it in your best and highest good to kind of move forward? So your card that you got, pile 2, is onward and upward. Let go of the past so you can be present and create the future you desire. This is a really clear message. Not to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm going to interpret this in a most literal of senses, which is that it's most likely in your best interest at this time, pile 2, to move forward. But I don't think this is something that is new, that you haven't thought of already, that perhaps it's best if you just kind of cut your losses and move on. Wow, that's funny. I don't really ever say that. So that's likely something that you've thought to yourself. Is it just worthwhile at this point to just cut ties, to just move on? You know, wherever things stand is where they are, and be that as it may, and just kind of leave. This is a strong indicator from source that there is a need to release at least some aspect of your past. Now, if it's not the person entirely, then it's certainly all of the, I'm going to assume, negativity that has existed previously in this connection between you, on either side, within yourselves, but essentially what it's bringing into the energy of the connection, which is a separate energy than either of you also, right? It's its own entity almost. And it's gotten very toxic is what I'm feeling, or very not good feeling at the very least. And in order to create and support the future that you desire, in order for all of your desires to be met, you know, they're always given. The minute that you think of them and wish for them and desire them, they are answered. But it's up to us to align our energy and get to a place where we can vibrationally, energetically receive them in. We have to match the frequency of all of those wonderful, positive, beautiful things that we're desiring and wanting to have happen for us. And we can't really do that while we're entertaining lower level energies. So it's a very clear message, one way or another, that there is some element of the past that you're needing to release, pile 2. So let's go ahead and start with tarot. I'm using the Tarot de Carlotydes today. Let's get this deck together. And we're going to start by asking what is currently going on in your connection. This is going to help you to know, of course, if you're in the right place, and help give me some context to be able to frame the messages that I receive from source for the guidance on whether or not you should stay or you should go. So pile 2, what is happening for pile 2, please, in their connection with their person? What is happening for pile 2 with their person? Being told to shuffle more, so let's do that. We have the Knight of Wands. I believe this came out for pile 1 as well. I did shuffle thoroughly, however. We have the 8 of Wands. We have the Empress. This is very interesting. And we have Justice. Clarifying these energies is the 6 of Cups. Okay. We have the 3 of Swords. We have the King of Cups. Okay. And we have the Page of Wands for Justice. Kind of the underlying theme of the reading, the energy that supports everything that we've presented out so far, is the Wheel of Fortune energy. So the energy of shifting and change on the horizon. Again, perhaps movement, moving forward, moving on. I want to get these straight in camera view. How does that look? That looks pretty good. Good enough. Let's get some Oracle as well. I'm going to start with the Healers of the Earth Oracle deck. The clock is ticking. Time to act, preventable loss, and a deadline. Okay. Definitely see the element of time kind of escaping and getting away from your person with the Knight of Wands and the 6 of Cups. It is to say that they don't feel ready to act. I'll give that. energy some credence here, because it's definitely coming through that this person feels almost an immaturity, or there's something about the past that's kind of playing into this. But there's such a nostalgic and also childlike innocence and naivety here, that is playing a part. And as a result, this person is feeling very pressured to act, but they're not ready to do so. And the clock is ticking is just reaffirmation of that same energy. And we have the ice thaws, relief, alleviation, and better days ahead. Okay. We're also going to pull a few from the familiar field oracle deck. These are animal-based cards. So like I told pile 1, as I'm laying these cards, go ahead and just set your intention right away that you are receptive and willing to receive in all of the insights that are going to present forth from source for you today. The messages contained herein that are going to help you, give you the clarity that you're needing to make and arrive at a decision regarding your connection. And in that same sort of a process, you can select a sign if you feel guided to choose one. And animals is a good opportunity to do that. With this being an animal-based deck, it'll help you. So we have Ray energy, suppression, calibration, and flow. It's definitely what this person's going through. We have goat energy, conquering, vitality, and new heights. So this person is, again, is feeling prompted to kind of act, but at the same time, I just don't know if they're ready. And we have the bat, insight, sensitivity, and darkness. Yeah, this that's hermit energy all day for me. What's going on in your connection, pile 2, rather, is this person feels very strongly about you. Let's start there. We have the Empress, clarified by the King of Cups. This person sees you as just the epitome of their dream person, their dream partner, who they would always envision ending up with. They couldn't think of a better example in human form of the perfect person for them. And this person holds you in very high regard. They definitely feel drawn to you. When we think of the Empress, which is the embodiment of divine feminine energy, we just think of somebody who is abundant and beautiful and represents all of this just exuding energy of confidence and, again, beauty and abundance and all of these wonderful things that almost makes this person kind of have like they emulate you, or they hold you on a pedestal. They definitely think very highly of you, and they have a lot of strong feeling. It feels like it's a very sexy feeling as well, because the Empress is also the divine feminine energy related to sexuality and fertility. They just see you in that very primal way also. They feel a very instinctive magnetic attraction at even a physical level. But they just are so in awe of you. They revere you. They really see you, again, as just the perfect exemplification of what they are looking for. They know that you deserve a lot, that they're not giving to you. The Page of Wands is kind of showing up with this lowly energy. You know, the pages are students. They're learners. They're not skilled at their task yet. They don't have and possess all of the necessary abilities to be able to carry out something necessarily successfully. And as a result, I see this Page of Wands energy with justice as speaking to, you know, wishing that they could create a sense of balance here, that they could do what's the right thing. I'm hearing that a lot, the right thing to do, the right by you, the right thing by you. But it's almost like they either don't know how to achieve that, or it doesn't feel possible to them. It doesn't feel approachable or feasible. The Wheel of Fortune energy, though, is interesting because there's a lot of energy here about things sort of shifting a little bit. And also this idea of cycles, which is another theme of the Wheel of Fortune. We have with the Ray energy here, suppression, calibration, and flow. So suppression is to resist. Flow is to release and have ease. And calibration is kind of the act of getting things into sync. So it's sort of like it feels a pattern this person goes through where there's, you know, resistance, where there's an unwillingness or a hesitation or fear in some cases to act and to move forward with things. Then there's other times where they're really going with the flow and at ease with how things are presenting, and they're getting themselves into alignment. They're getting very balanced. They're feeling very much like they're doing the right things. They're saying the right things. They're doing right by you. Everything is working out And then it kind of falls back into the same pattern. I also feel there's so much drawing me into the Six of Cups energy. You've been connected to this person for a long time. I don't know if this, someone from childhood or just for years and years, but there is just definitely a past tie to this person. And that also plays into why this clock is ticking. It's almost like you've been waiting on them. Look at how this Empress is just sitting. She's actually in a bridal dress, it looks like, and she's waiting. She's wanting things to happen. She's wanting for there finally to be a materialization, it feels like, of all of what she's worth and deserves. And yet, here's this gentleman, this King of Cups, who's just still very nervously holding on to his cup. He's not offering it. He's not giving to his Empress what he should be at this point in time. This person is just feeling very stuck, even though they feel a need to act. It's like, I can't necessarily do that. Or if they do it, it's only in short little bursts. It's never a full, all systems go. And that's just what they're giving me with that. Is this energy of start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. Maybe go a little further distance, then stop. Start up again, maybe start a little slowly and pick up the momentum, but then stop again. It's not a consistent sort of an energy. However, we have the ice thaws, which is relief and alleviation and better days ahead. So this is a sign that, again, things could be shifting and moving upwards and onwards. And that relief could actually be coming because you're making a decision to kind of honor yourself, do right by yourself, and create a separation here. I am seeing that what's going on in the energy with the Eight of Wands and the Three of Swords is like a breakup or a distancing and a separation, but it would be one that is probably mutual or that both parties agreed to, versus, let's say, pile one, which was a separation that felt on one side then more so than the other. But this would be kind of acknowledged by both parties of the disconnect. But it definitely feels like breakup energy here, and that somebody may in fact be walking away. The Empress is turning her back to this energy of the past. I think what's presenting here as well is that this individual is showing up in this Wands energy quite often, right? Either the Page or the Knight. And it's just not good enough anymore. I think it's just making you feel... I got a really interesting reference with this goat energy that I'm not going to talk about, but you can probably guess. Wands energy, goat. I just think it's not good enough anymore. And this person keeps showing up in the same sort of a light, and you're just over it. Pile two. But we have conquering vitality and new heights. Again, we're going to have to do some clarifying to see if that's related more to your energy. It kind of feels like it. But we have, strong energy of your person as well, trying to come out of this period of stalling and resistance. And with the ice thawing, it kind of makes me think of somebody literally warming up, somebody who was previously very stuck and frozen, now maybe coming back to life a bit. We do have with the bat energy, though, insight, sensitivity, and darkness. So this is still a need to kind of, turn inward, keep to oneself, be very reserved and cautious. So while I think this person is present and feels a lot, just like in that King of Cups energy, they're very much holding on to that cup. They just don't want to give up that cup. And that could present and prove to be problematic. But let's get some more clarity, first of all, on a couple of these cards. What is this Eight of Wands and the Three of Swords here speaking to? The Three of Wands, the Ten of Cups, and the King of Wands. Okay. Yeah, it just feels like a breakup energy, like the energy of somebody who fell short on promises, and maybe is even communicating some of that, or has communicated some of that. It's just very difficult for them. For some of you, that your person is much more expressive than for others. For others of you, there is no communication about feelings. Very King of Cups like energy, where it's a scorpionic, like secretive, hiding, and like the bat, just not revealing of oneself, very guarded and safe holding. And what are these energy is about thawing and conquering new heights. What is that related to? The Four of Pentacles, the Nine of Swords, and the Page of Swords. So that is about your person in a lot of ways, and that's them conquering some of their fear and anxiety that they're having about this connection and maybe just overall in life. Again, we also had reference to the past, and maybe there's something from their past that kind of freaks them out, but it's definitely looking like your person is kind of getting a handle on that, and they are restabilizing to an extent from this more nervous or difficult energy when it comes to relationships. I do think your person has potential. However, I don't know if now is the right time. We haven't gotten a whole lot of cards to timing. As I say that, I'm staring at a card with a clock on it. But I definitely think that there isn't a whole lot of reference to, like time. So it needs to be now or never, or it's just not the right time. It's just more saying that your person is feeling pressure. The clock is ticking, but it's not actually speaking to me as that being relevant to the connection overall. So this is, going to be interesting when we go to the part of asking, when we get to that section about whether or not you should stay or go. Let's get just another general message about what's going on in this situation between these two people, please. With the Queen of Swords, it's definitely you, pile 2. If you're the female energy, I guess you could be male and be Queen of Swords as well, but definitely the viewer is somebody who is no longer investing in the same way, and they're viewing the situation differently than they ever have before. Yeah, we have the High Priestess. You're viewing things from a more enlightened perspective, and you're really feeling into the situation, and as a result, you're acting differently. You're handling things differently. There's an element of restraint here with this chain, that's holding down that unicorn. A unicorn should be a free-spirited, it's a mythical creature, right? It's a very fantasy-like animal, and yet it's almost like that fantasy has been grounded and tied down because it's chained around her belt. So there is just a sense of practicality and pragmatism in approaching this connection now, whereas before it was very emotional and a very optimistic one. Now it's almost slightly cynical, but certainly discerning. And you're just definitely handling things very differently with this person. I do also see, again, this strong desire that perhaps you have already considered moving forward, pile 2. So take that as it may. Let's go ahead and I think let's just jump right into asking if you should stay or go. What Source has to say? What does Source have to say about whether or not you should stay or go in this connection? Is it worthwhile to continue or stay involved in, or what's meant for your highest good, pile 2? What should you do? We have the Eight of Swords. That came out also for pile 1 during this question. We have Temperance, Seven of Cups, but then all new cards after. And the Seven of Swords. Okay. Clarifying this energy. We have the Ace of Pentacles. Okay. Very different meaning behind the Eight of Swords with this particular pile. We have the Four of Wands. Okay. We have the Ace of Swords. And we have the Moon. Okay. It's a very direct message. For a lot of you, pile 2, there's a need to get real. That sounds interesting, right? But we have the Seven of Cups here with the Ace of Swords, and that's kind of like cutting through illusion, cutting through any idealism and seeing things for what they really are. And the reason why I think that's important, it's always fine to focus on the positive and wish and hope for the best, or know that your desires can manifest and be brought forward. However, for your highest good, which is what we've asked, it doesn't appear as though this route or this path with this particular situation or this particular energy at this time is going to net you what you ultimately want. It's kind of saying that with you being stuck with this Eight of Swords energy, you are holding back and blocking this new beginning. This is what could be coming forward, and that's what's blocking it, is your own self-limitation. Perhaps energetically remaining in this connection, or remaining, in this state of energy with this person in this perspective. But the Ace of Pentacles is what you could have, which is a beautiful new beginning. It's real, and it's really positive. I always look at the aces as just beautiful new energy, the start of something. It's almost like the Fool in the Minor Arcana suits. Look at this. It's like this beautiful, new pentacle being presented to you, this offer, this opportunity. But that's blocked because right now, you're not even seeing it. She's blindfolded. We also have here Temperance with the Four of Wands. Again, I think this is saying that you can ultimately have that beautiful, perfect relationship that you desire. I don't know why, but for some reason, the Temperance energy here is just coming through strong twin flame energy to me, or strong like soulmate vibes and that perfect partner energy that person felt about you. It's almost like you're going to get that one way or another with that relationship of your dreams that you've been envisioning and hoping for with this person. Right now, pile 2 with the Seven of Swords and the Moon, again, that's a lack of clarity. That's not necessarily seeing things for what they are, or laboring under a very unclear perspective of this connection and what it can achieve in its current state. So be that as it may, take that for what you will with this energy from source. But it's kind of saying like this isn't the best energy to put focus on right now if you really want to achieve your highest good and manifest that relationship that you desire. Let's get some oracle though to support what the message is saying. Higher learning. We have education, research and apprenticeship. I think that's just getting clear again with the Ace of Swords. Dashing through the snow, minor setbacks, delays, and roadblocks. That's exactly what I feel with this. So it's like you have all of the tools necessary, all of the knowledge and the awareness to really get what you want and to go and flow through life easily. But we have dashing through the snow, which would normally indicate moving easily and swiftly through any circumstance or situation, and yet it indicates minor setbacks and delays, which is exactly what this Eight of Swords energy is as well. I feel like we just need a couple more cards. I don't know if I did this for pile 1, but let's pull a couple more of the Familiar Field Oracle. Yeah, vibration, regeneration, and simplicity. So it's super important for you to just take stock and stay in balance with your own energetic frequency. As I said, that's what's going to help you to really create the future that you desire, pile 2. We have travel, stamina, and service. So again, this element of movement, moving forward, moving on, travel, distance, and we have power, swiftness, and ambition. That's going for what you want, knowing you can have it and just not letting anything stand in your way. Again, I think that you possess everything that you need, pile 2, to achieve this. It's just about getting clear and real with yourself. We have the Seven of Swords, as I presented earlier, which is definitely an energy of like the lie, cheat, steal. It's not to say that this person is a bad energy to have around, but I definitely think you're not seeing everything entirely clearly. And that message is further supported by the Moon, which can represent illusions and fears and things hidden and confusion. So there's just a lack of clarity, I think, with what's really taking place in this connection. And as a result, it's just not allowing you to move forward ultimately towards your goals at this time. So, with that, you can decide what your ultimate decision and choice is in the matter of how to move forward, your next action. But Source has spoken. This is probably not the connection that's going to support your highest good or your higher goals at this time. Let's get some closing energy though with the Guiding Light Oracle, just whatever else Source wants to share with us about this connection for you, pile 2. Oh, I have the deck upside down. So let's put that right side up. Perfectionist. Keep your standards high and honorable, but let go of the need to be perfect. So for me, that's about knowing that there is no perfect situation truly, but you do have very high ideals, pile 2. And I think that's how you also live your life. The Seven of Cups energy, you dream big, but you also go for everything and you get everything. And there's nothing wrong with that. As a result, this is to me like a card in and of itself saying, don't settle. can have that perfect vision, though, of what you want. Victim mentality. You are learning to understand that everything happens through you, not to you, which is true for absolutely everyone. And that's a hard pill to swallow. Divine plan. This is the card that came out for pile 1. It also came out just before I started all of these cards, but it was upside down. It's meant to come out, obviously. Divine plan. Your soul has a master blueprint of your life path that it holds within it. It will never steer you in the wrong direction. So understanding that you're creating your reality with every step, with every action, with every energetic vibration that you are offering pile 2. It's all coming together in a divine plan. This isn't it for you. I'm really going to say that, especially with that perfectionist energy. I don't think this is it for you. I think there's so much more that you're going to experience, and that you're ultimately going to get as close to perfection as you possibly can. That's the energy that you put into everything. I think it's the energy that you are going to manifest and get back. And then as we've gotten all this power and swiftness, ambition, this travel, all of these energies of movement, we have inspired action. Focus on inspiration, and the action steps will flow effortlessly. So again, stay connected to source, lean into that higher knowing that you possess, those kind of inclinations also that you've been getting about moving onward and upward. And I think you're then going to be given those impulses that are going to prompt that inspired action, that are going to help you, again, get back on the right path completely towards manifesting what you want in the surest, quickest, easiest way, the fastest route to getting kind of like that Empress, that pure bliss energy right now in your current reality. So pile 2, I hope that you've enjoyed this reading and that it's been of help to you. If it has, please consider subscribing. Also, feel free to go ahead and peruse my other playlists that I have available of past readings I have completed. Click the notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. New content is coming out regularly now, so hopefully you will catch me in a future reading. I hope to see you then at that time. And until then, pile 2, take great care. Bye-bye. Pile 3, I'm so happy to have you here with me today. You chose one of my favorite crystals ever, which is the agate, flower agate moon. And we are asking today about your connection, if you should stay or if you should go. Pretty simple. This is meant and intended for connections or relationships that are in a state of turmoil or duress. Perhaps you are at a crossroads, you're questioning and wondering whether this is a relationship worth continuing, whether the connection is worthwhile to continue to be focused on and invested in, or if you should either energetically and or physically move forward and perhaps let go. So we're going to go ahead and take a look, beginning with the card that you were drawn to with your crystal. And this says, home sweet home. Your home and family matters require your attention and tender, loving care. So this is a really direct and probably specific message that there is some element of family. Maybe you have a family or you have personal matters in your life that are in need of your attention most at this time. This could also be true for your person as well. So let's go ahead and see how that kind of factors into the rest of the reading. But if either one of you or both of you have families or have established homes and, lots of responsibilities and things going on in life that are kind of taking your focus and attention already away from the connection, this is likely going to be your pile. We're going to start with tarot, but get lots of oracle as well. And we're beginning with getting some context by asking, what is currently going on in your connection? By doing this will help you to not only understand if you are at the right pile, if it sounds like your situation that you're currently dealing with, the circumstances presenting between you and your person, but it will also give me some context to help frame all of the guidance, the messages that will be coming out from source regarding whether or not this is worthwhile and if you should stay or if you should go. I haven't said this for the other piles, but for some reason this is necessary to say, and I'm feeling the need to say that this could be a very sensitive reading for some people. Be sure you're ready. Set your intention that you're willing and ready to receive whatever the answer is specific to, perhaps you're going to get, told, or not told exactly, but there will be gentle guidance provided that indicates that maybe it's differing from what you think that you should be doing, but it will resonate and make sense. If that's the case, maybe take some time to reflect on it before making any decisions, or come and return to this reading at a later time when you're feeling maybe less sensitive to the messages that may come through. But just be aware that this is just, a general reading. Maybe take some time before making any final decisions. This is just meant to help as a guide to assist you with your own intuition in arriving at a conclusive sort of choice on whether or not you should stay or go in your connection. So take it with whatever degree of confirmation and support you like. Never advise anybody to, be upset about a reading either. They're just meant to help. So pile 3, what is going on with your person? Let's see what is happening with your person. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Somebody's feeling good or trying to. We have the 10 of Wands. We also have the Queen of Wands. Okay. And we have the 3 of Pentacles coming out, clarifying these energies. You know what? We have room. I'm going to literally get another card. I feel like 5 cards for you guys. We have the Queen of Swords. We have 3 out of the 4 queens coming out, which is really incredible. There could be multiple energies at play here. We did discuss the concept that there could be families involved, whether it's a family like a spouse, or it could be a mother figure, a grandmother, anybody who's involved kind of in the mix of this connection. We have just lots of, especially female court card energies presenting. We have the 6 of Pentacles for the Queen of Pentacles. We have the 10 of Cups for the 10 of Wands. The 9 of Cups for the Queen of Wands. This person feels very burdened. Very burdened. 2 of Wands. And we have the Hermit. Okay. So there's a strong tie of family with this pile and with this particular person. So what I'm thinking is there's lots of female energy surrounding this person. You could likely be dealing with the Divine Masculine. So this could be a male. And they could have a spouse, or they could have a mother. They could have a close female friend. I mean, whatever the case may be, there are people that they don't want to disappoint, that they don't want to let down. It very much shows this kind of altruistic, charitable sort of an energy with the 6 of Pentacles clarifying the Queen, which is, of course, the wife energy. So this person is showing up out of duty or obligation. It feels very burdensome to them. The 10 of Wands with the 10 of Cups is not feeling happy necessarily, not feeling fulfilled and satisfied with where they are, but they're dealing with it. They're doing the best that they can, and they're persevering, they're pushing through. I see you as the Queen of Wands here. And the 9 of Cups clarifying that is a beautiful message that they actually honor you and desire you so much. You are the perfect embodiment of what they'd be seeking. You are their wish fulfilled. You are the most attractive, the most desirable, the best match, the best fit for them. They are very, very drawn to you. And they want to come together with you. This is something that they constantly kind of, because I'm getting the 2 of Wands here with this black and white, or these dark and light colored unicorns, it's kind of coming through to me as more of a 2 of Pentacles energy, where this person goes back and forth about whether or not they should come forward, where they should devote their efforts and their attention and their energy. But ultimately, they're always pulled in multiple directions. Look at how the leashes on these 2 animals, well, it's a dog and a unicorn, how those leashes are pulling at those animals, and they're on 2 separate trees. They're pulled in 2 different directions. And I just think that this person has been dealing with quite a bit. And there's a lot of energies here, a lot of different things. The Queen of Swords here is that very judgmental, sort of domineering energy, it felt like. And the Hermit here is to say that this person tries to avoid conflict with this individual, tries to people please. They try to make things just okay in every corner of their lives. And I think it does definitely impact them what their family or friend groups think, their inner circle. They've been attending to a lot of things regarding their family at this time, putting a lot of focus there. Let's get some more information. What is going on, though, in the connection between pile 3 and their person? What's going on between the 2 of them? The 6 of Swords. So one or both of you have moved on from the connection, or are trying your best to move forward. Strength. Yep. Trying. Don't know if you're completely being successful, but you're trying. I think burying emotions. Swallowing that sword is like I'm not going to come forward and speak my truth as much as I would like to. I'm just going to bury my emotions. I'm going to deal with it, and I'm going to press on and push forward and maintain strength. But this person doesn't feel good. This is your person that's mostly moved on, or that's gone silent, or that's, no longer connected to you and kind of acting or making it seem like they don't care and this doesn't affect them. It actually affects them quite a great deal. They're not feeling good. I don't think they're feeling good in their life right now. I don't think they're feeling good about, things between the two of you. The Nine of Wands. They're just unsure of their next move in life. I think they're not clear on what they want to do, what's the best thing to do. Again, they go back and forth with themselves quite a bit. What are they so hesitant about, specific with the Nine of Wands? Again, it feels family related for me for some reason. Page of Cups. The Seven of Wands. And the Sun. Could be a reference to children here. And also revealing of themselves. Yeah. Revealing of their emotions, being vulnerable and raw and real, maybe sharing some of their struggles or sharing their feelings, sharing where they're at and what they're wanting with this connection. This feels very much similar to a pile one, where there's separation or disconnect to some level. I do think that there's been some communication for a few of you, or there may be communication also with that Queen of Swords. Just gave me a nod to directness, like actual communication coming in or having been recent. But overall, things have gone pretty quiet with that Hermit energy. And I just think that, again, one or both of you has been focused on trying to move on. If that sounds like your situation, I'm sorry, but we're going to get some good insight here. What else is going on between pile 3 and their person, please? Divine Feminine. We have yin, receptivity, and lunar qualities. So it definitely also feels like an imbalance to me. Like one counterpart or one person in this connection is much more balanced, much more in a higher place than the other. Five of Pentacles is a very low energy, a very low state to be in. But with Divine Feminine presenting, that's certainly not conducive to the Five of Pentacles energy. So I'm going to probably say it's on their side more than yours. And we have intensity, intense feelings, sexual passion, and fervor. This person, yes, definitely, with that Queen of Wands coming out, is very drawn to you. That's never gone away. They've never lost their spark, their desire, their draw to you. I think they've always wanted to make their way back to you if they could. Even if they're consciously in their 3D reality, like moving on, and it looks like that. It looks like, okay, I no longer talk to this person. I've moved on with my life. I'm focused on other things. I think energetically, especially, but even in their mind, they're not letting go. They're not releasing any of that intensity of feelings. They feel just the same as they did from day one. They just hold it with them. And again, with the Seven of Swords, they bury that down deep. And they kind of keep that to themselves. It's like a little secret. As I said that, I nicked one of my cards and I had to fix it, but I'm going to bring that out because of the fact that it seems relevant here. We have freedom with the eagle energy, perspective, and victory. This person wants freedom. They want to be able to just choose freely, to live their life authentically how they would like, without judgment, without all this burden and obligation. We have really rough energies here with the Five of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands, the Queen of Swords. These are just really rough, really difficult energies to be in or to be dealing with. We even have the Five of Cups as well. There's a lot going on here, pile 3. I'm going to take these. These fell on the floor and these seem relevant too. We have the Hare, which is spontaneity, anxiety, and fear. So it's a similar energy that I felt with pile 1 with this card presenting out. It feels like it's a very different message overall with the Six of Swords, but it also feels like there could be some kind of movement. Like this person doesn't completely want to move away. And, we have all of this, spontaneity and fear and intense feelings and like a nervousness. They just don't want to let things go. And then we have a beautiful card. This could be one of your signs if you chose animal signs for your reading. The whale, or the hare, or eagle. Horses, we have birds presenting also, but we have magnificence, compassion, and history. Hopefully you can see that. So have a history with this person. person, again, hasn't forgotten about you. They have never let any ounce of what they have felt for you go. And I really think that they want to like reverse course and go back. They want to go backwards. They don't want to move on. Let's get 2 more. Just because all of those kind of fell out or came out very spontaneously, the spontaneity card. I just want to see if there's anything else we need out. What is going on with pile 3's person? So the spider, creativity, manifestation, and details. Again, I was feeling like there could be something sort of taking place here and happening, or going to be happening quite soon. This person like just does not want to completely give up on this and let this go, even though they've moved on. I mean, they have moved on in the 3D. Like they're completely trying to be okay with their life as it is. You have the snake, mystery, healing, and rebirth. This is a lot of saying that stuff is going on behind the scenes and underneath the surface. This person is probably not speaking to you. Again, I think there was some recent communication, or there might be, but other than that, it's total darkness. It's like there is no kind of leverage that you can have to gauge what's going on with this person, which is probably why you're watching this reading. I just don't think they've given you any hints about anything. I want to get just a few cards quick to ask. What is all this talk about details and healing and mystery and manifestation, spontaneity? What is all of this talking about with this person, with pile 3 and their person? What is this speaking to? What is it saying? The 9 of Swords, the 4 of Wands. We have 2. The 8 of Cups and Judgment. Okay. So there's about to be some type of movement. The 8 of Cups is traditionally a card of moving away from something or moving on. It's also, though, taking a journey. The 4 of Wands can be a home card. It is perhaps leaving a home, leaving a family for some of you. Judgment is stepping into, like, again, being seen. We have this eye kind of central here. And we have these skeletons on one side and kind of down beneath, which represent what is dead and no longer working. But then we have, again, this rebirth-like energy with these other kind of cherub and angelic-like figures that are dancing and acting very much alive and animated. And so I think this is saying, you know, that there is going to be some type of resurrection or resurgence. The Judgment card is definitely usually that, again, reverting back or something coming back to life. The 3 of Wands, plans. The Star. This person's very hopeful. Very, very hopeful. Yeah. There's just such dreamy energy. This is the Moon, sure. So this is, again, that element of hiddenness and obscurity, which we had with the mystery, with the snake energy as well. But I'm seeing so many stars here, and that's just kind of giving me that same feeling. Also the Moon prominent here as well, of like fantasy and dreaming and optimism and planning for the future, and this person not wanting to let things go. So very well, what could be happening under the surface is the beginnings of this person starting to make shifts and changes in their life, maybe walking away from something or getting prepared to, feeling very anxious about doing so. You know, we even have anxiety and fear coming out as well with the hair, but this person is feeling more of that call. Remember that soul call almost with the Judgment energy of coming back to life, of coming and stepping forward into maybe what their true life is meant to be. So with all that said, let's go ahead and ask pile 3 if you should stay or you should go. We have the Magician, El Mago, coming out. We'll see what that's about in a moment. Is this connection worth hanging on to? We have the 10 of Swords, the 3 of Cups, the Ace of Wands. This was a beautiful energy that also came out for pile 1. And we have the Hanged Man. Nothing is going to happen right now. It's kind of saying like things are already over, right? Like things have already ended. And nothing is in the works to happen at this exact moment. But at some point there is going to be You know, the Three of Cups also is like reunion energy to me. I love this Ace of Wands and how it's depicted with the hand holding all of these different blooms of flowers, because that's indicative of abundance and growth and kind of a new beginning, a new start, a harvest. Just again, that coming to life like energy. With the Nine of Pentacles, yeah. Focusing on self. This is, again, similar messages to pile one. I definitely would advise watching pile one as well, especially if you felt drawn to it. Of the Four of Swords. Okay, this is interesting because it is over for now, and I think you know this. Again, someone has moved on, or both of you. But we have the Ten of Swords, and then it's clarified by the Four of Swords. So that's kind of Spirit's nod of saying it's over, but only for now. It's not a dead, done deal ending. It's just a break. It's a pause or a reprieve, which may be helpful or, you know, comforting for you to know. The Hierophant with the Three of Cups. This is, again, community. This is spiritual communion. This is coming together. Look at how the Hierophant is literally playing with another rabbit. So a rabbit could be a sign for you or something significant to you. Rabbits are also always associated with time for me because of Alice in Wonderland, and he's always saying, I'm late, I'm late, I'm late. So this could be a timing factor for a lot of you. And it does appear like this person is trying to get some things figured out in their life. But right now, again, nothing's happening with this Hanged Man energy. With the Ace of Wands, we have Death, which again is such a symbolic kind of an energy that's very similar to the energy of Judgment, where we have these skeletons coming out. But then at the same time, we also have all of these, you know, indications of growth and prosperity with the flowers. So I do think, again, there's going to be a rebirth. There's going to be a new start. There is going to be transformation with this energy. Last card out, the World. Suspendedness, but again, a happy ending, I think, is forecast and could come about. I don't see a need to move on because you each are already moving on and moving forward separately in your lives, but it is saying that there is going to be a coming together once again at some point in the future, to whatever extent that is. It may take some time with the Seven of Pentacles, but it is going to happen. And I think it's going to feel really good when it does, because this person just feels very safe and secure and comfortable. And it's just a very positive connection. This feels very positive to me. And like, this is an okay person to have in your life at any level it ends up being. You know, of course, the Three of Cups also is a friend-like energy. Two friends playing, you know, a game together at a table would also indicate that just jovial camaraderie, that beautiful synergy of friends. You know, but there is just definitely the energy of reunion and new beginnings and returns to each other that is going to come forward. The World is a beautiful kind of omen for me that everything is going to work out and come back together full circle. Let's see what else. Magic Beanstalk. We have Ascension, Elevation, Reaching New Heights. So that's definitely happening for each of you. And I do think it's going to allow that to take place in this connection as well. Processing energies, what did I say? An adjustment period and settling of energies. That's what's happening right now for each of you. It is an issue of time, it feels like, for a lot of you. This is funny. So this almost looked like chess to me, even though it's actually tea. But we have the Cabal coming out, which is about schemes. To me, it's just about game playing. It's about having to put on a brave face, put on a front. Again, this person has a whole lot of obligations or family or societal expectations that they have to adhere to right now. That's causing a lot of clouded thoughts, and it says indecision and confusion. That's okay. No place like home, the comforts of family, home, family, and leisure. We have toxic environment. This person's not happy, like I said. This person is just dealing with these things because they're obligations. But it also feels comfortable and safe for them. And you're being safeguarded against something to do with that, I'm also hearing. You know, let this person brave their storm, face their difficulties, and find courage to come forward out of that, to leave that situation behind, to leave the stress perhaps of what they have going on in their life. Let them resolve that and then make their way to you if they're meant to, with that Eight of Cups energy. Let's get a couple more from the Familiar Field Oracle. Loyalty, affection, and companionship with the dog. So that could also be a sign for you. I just love that. That's such a beautiful energy. Again, like, this person has not moved on from you in their hearts, you know, in their energy. It's just physical, you know, but they've always regarded you and felt the same way about you that they always have. And we have power, swiftness, and ambition. I think this person, again, is definitely trying to muster up the courage to make moves. It may take a while, but it's coming. And we have the owl, wisdom, learning, and transition. Why I love that is that's very similar to that death card energy. The energy of transformation and transition is underway for both of you, pile 3. Let's go ahead and get some final energy, some final guidance, even perhaps from the Guiding Light Oracle deck, to just see what we have here for you. And one of these cards, I believe, is flipped over. Pretty sure. Maybe not. We'll find it if it is, but let's just get some closing cards for pile 3, please, on their situation with their person. We have Untapped Inner Power, card 24. That could be numbers, could be a sign for you. You are getting ready to experience great power from within yourself. And that's what's super important, is each of you, I think, are separately on your own journeys. You're trying to come together within self, create a sense of inner alchemy and balance and strength, and move forward in your lives, move on with your lives, and handle, you know, your own separate life journeys independently right now before it's time to come back together. And it says you guys both possess a lot of inner power. As I said, also, we have here all of those stars with the moon and the star energy coming out. It just gave me a lot of that draw in. And it says you have barely scratched the surface. You have unlimited potential, and you are getting ready to experience this firsthand. Everything says you are getting ready to experience great power, great potential. There's something really big on the horizon coming for you. Freedom of soul expression. You may be holding back from expressing yourself out of fear of losing or upsetting someone around you. That's definitely your person's energy. And they're going to come out of that pile 3. It's just going to take some time. They have to tap into their inner power. Blessing in disguise. Yeah, staying away, being safe from this situation. You are being asked not to prejudge your current set of circumstances. So don't worry about why you're not involved and why you're being kept away. It is for your benefit. We have life force energy, card 1. For some reason, number 1 is also coming through, could be a sign. It is time to engage in activities that rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Again, that feels like a tie to freedom of soul expression for both you and especially your person. And one final card to close things off, Crossroads. So as I said, this is kind of like, you know, a decision here. A new business adventure, project, or career is currently in the works for you. You have a lot that you're at the precipice of, pile 3, and so could your person. Whether it's personal in nature or professional or whatever the case may be, there's a lot. You're at a juncture in life right now where there is going to be a lot kind of intersecting and taking place. And you both just need the freedom, again, the safety and the space and the freedom to be able to live out those things before you come back together. But I have no doubt, based upon these cards, that it does look like eventually that will happen. So this person and this connection is worthwhile. It just feels like a timing issue to me. So pile 3, I hope that you've enjoyed this reading and that it has been of help to you, brought you some great comfort and clarity. If it has resonated, please consider subscribing if you haven't done so. Also, feel free to peruse my other readings that I have available in multiple playlists here on my channel of past prior uploads. There's all sorts of readings for all different types of topics related to your person, organized and divided by category in the playlist available for you to view. I do hope to see you for a future reading, pile 3, and until next time, I hope you take great care. Bye-bye.